Hey everyone, time for another Jesus in Your Living Room devotional. And today I wanted to take a quick peek at John chapter 15, verse 15, where Jesus tells his disciples, I no longer call you servants because a servant doesn't know his master's business, but from now on I call you friends. And a very powerful passage. John 15 is a great passage that talks about what it means to stay connected to Jesus, that this is actually a way for us to enjoy intimacy and connection with Jesus. Abiding in him simply means to be close to him. And I'm kind of thinking about, again, some of the new dynamics and the new realities that we're living in these days. And a lot of people have more time on their hands, and we've recommended and we've talked a lot already, us as a staff, about what it means to capitalize on this time and take advantage of this opportunity, even though it feels in many ways like an inconvenience or something that is bringing more stress than anything. In fact, one of the opportunities is to pray, and that's one of the things that we've talked about is what does it mean to take advantage of this time and connect a little bit more with Jesus. And as I've been doing my own stuff here at home and at the office and making my own adjustments, at a personal level, I've actually found it kind of hard to connect with Jesus at a deeper level. Not because of anything other than the fact that sometimes or even at a greater or a deepening level, connecting with Jesus always helps us to come face to face with some of the things that are barriers or obstacles in our faith. And I think quite often we have maybe a mistake or a misunderstanding about what it means to connect with Jesus and be close to him. And one of those misconceptions is simply that we kind of got to brush ourselves up a little bit or dust ourselves off, or that maybe we've got to get a little bit more serious about our faith in order to really enjoy some of the benefits and blessings of connecting with Jesus. And that simply isn't true. It's good for us to take a careful look at our lives and to consider things that may need to change. But one of the ideas of connecting deeply with Jesus as friends, the way he calls us, is understanding that, like a true friend, we don't have to pretend to be something that we're not in order to enjoy the friendship. Yes, we worship Jesus. He is the King. He is the Lord of the universe. He is the resurrected one, the Almighty, the one who will come again to judge the living and the dead. And we never want to lose sight of that. But in terms of our own quiet time, in terms of our own prayer life, super great to think about connecting with Jesus at a friendship level, because he comes down and meets with us at our level. And I'm so thankful for that, because it tells me that his grace is beyond any of my own stuff, any of my own junk. And as a mentor of mine, Rob Reamer, said once, it takes one day after a lifetime to become perfect, and by then we'll see Jesus face to face, and it's not going to matter. So this idea of drawing close to Jesus in prayer, especially now that we've got maybe more time on our hands, or maybe we're thinking a little bit more about things that really matter, and one of those things might be our faith. I really encourage each one of us to draw close to Jesus in a way where we have no pretending. It's not about striving or performing. It's simply not about trying to be better in order to qualify to become close to Jesus. But it's actually understanding that we are invited into the life of Jesus, that as his followers we already bear his Spirit within us, and that Spirit brings us into the presence of Jesus, and we can stand truly in front of Jesus, knowing that there's good, there's bad, and there's ugly in our lives, and that none of that makes him nervous or causes him to push us away. So if you're struggling a little bit in your prayer life, maybe your prayer life is non-existent, maybe your prayer life is limping along, maybe your prayer life is fruitful and super enjoyable. Doesn't matter where we are, as we draw close to Jesus, there's just even deeper levels of that relationship and friendship to explore, and that he actually invites us into that kind of relationship. What kind of a friend would somebody be if every time they met with a person, all they did was judge them and tell them all the things that were wrong with them, or experience disappointment or frustration? Well, that wouldn't really be a true friendship, would it? A true friendship is the ability to be with somebody and enjoy and love and appreciate them for who they are. And Jesus does that with us. And yes, of course, he helps us to figure out the things that need to change, but he doesn't carry a heavy stick with it. He draws alongside as a friend and wants to give us wisdom and advice and counsel. He wants to instruct our hearts. He wants to write his principles on our heart, on our soul, and on our mind. And he's super graceful that way. So my encouragement is to draw close to Jesus, knowing that you can draw close to him just the way you are. Because if you're a Christian, he calls you friend. He calls you friend, and he invites you into a deeper friendship with him. As you do, you may find it difficult to sit still. You may find it difficult to actually spend time in prayer, simply because maybe you recognize that not everything is as it should be in your life. That is especially a good time to draw close to Jesus, because he comes alongside of us and he says, I know what's there. I know the things that need to change. I know the things that aren't working well, the things that are broken. I know the parts of you that are hurt and wounding. I know the parts of you where there's confusion or doubt or pain. I know the parts of you where you're believing lies, or where you've been influenced by the world or the culture around you. And I'm here to help. And I'm so thankful that he helps us, rather than point a finger at us or judge us. There's already enough of that going on in the world these days. So if you find it hard to draw close to Jesus, if you find maybe that it's easy to be distracted, or easy to feel uncomfortable or uneasy as you begin to pray, just remember that you're invited to spend time with him. That you don't have to qualify to spend time with him, that you're actually invited. And as you do, one recommendation I would make is to simply take some time to pause, take a deep breath, and just simply ask him one question. Jesus, what would you like to tell me today? And let it go from there. Don't filter your thoughts. Jesus doesn't give you bad thoughts. He doesn't give you shameful or condemning thoughts. He gives you thoughts of encouragement, thoughts of wisdom, thoughts of instruction or correction. But it always comes with love and grace. It always comes with truth. It always comes with a sense of peace. So I encourage you, before you even have to bring a list of requests or concerns, just to pause in his presence, to remember that he invites you in deeper in friendship and relationship with him, that he already knows what you're going through and what you feel and what's happening inside. And he just wants you to have a chance to talk about it. And then just ask him the question, what do you want to tell me today? And just allow him to breathe his words into your heart. You might be super surprised at some of the things he tells you, but he's always encouraging and he's always loving. So spend some time with Jesus today. And if it takes a while for your thoughts to calm down, for your heart to calm down, take whatever time is necessary and find a place where you can be at peace in his presence, knowing that he sees you and he knows everything about you and invites you deeper in. So enjoy his presence today, and we will connect with you again soon. Take care, everybody.